We've got Jeff Trachtenberg here to tell us all about Harry Potter going into the magical world of ebooks and bringing some magic of his own.
It's been a long time coming, but now you can finally buy the digital ebook version legally of Harry Potter.
Wow. So what took so long?
She had the rights, and
JK Rowling.
Yes, she smartly, wisely retained the digital rights to her series, and she never felt she couldn't get comfortable with the digital world until today.
And why was that? Was that copyright stuff?
She may have feared piracy. She may have wanted to encourage her physical book sales.
JK Rowling started writing these books, what, a decade ago?
A decade ago.
So there were ebooks then, but they weren't really a thing, and there was no real market for that stuff.
Well, that's correct.
Is she unusual in that she's a high-profile author who has retained the digital rights to their stuff and has not released it until now?
Yes, very unusual. She may well be the biggest author of her type whose books weren't available digitally. I think last year John Grisham made his books available digitally.
And this is different than not letting your publisher publish. She actually owns the rights.
She owns them. Correct. She owns the Pottermore website. Her publishers apparently are getting a small cut on each ebook sale, but it's her business.
It's her business now. She's explain the way the revenue is going to work here, how that's different from regular e-publishing, because regular e-publishing, if you go do it through Amazon Kindle, they're going to take 30%, pretty much, maybe more.
Yes, it depends. Of course, if you're a self-published author, if you reclaimed your rights, you might get 70%. Yeah. So there's a wide swing today in terms of what authors are earning. Now, for JK Rowling, she might have gotten the traditional, if you would, 25% of net revenue for a digital commission. Instead, she's getting virtually all of it, except for what she pays to her publishers and whatever she'll give to retailers who link with her website.
It's very rare in media in general, right? Because generally, if you have a very popular work that's been published by a big publisher, or if it's music and goes through a big label or movie, etc., some distributor, studio, somebody owns that.
That's extraordinary.
And if you want to go off on your own, you can sell the thing that no one else really wants. But this is still Harry Potter. It's a thing that's in incredible demand still, I imagine.
Right. It was an extraordinary move by her agent to retain the rights. There's no question about that.
It is an extraordinary thing, and I must remember to do that when I next get a book.
But then your publisher won't sign you, because all the major publishers are pretty much unified in that if you won't sell them the digital book rights, they don't want your book.
They want to know. Okay, so here's the thing: 450 million books of hers have been sold, and these are mainly Harry Potter.
Right.
These are
basically all Harry Potter.
So is there anyone out there who hasn't read Harry Potter? Please, will the person who hasn't read it...
Someone off camera there.
Someone off camera there. Okay, there was someone off camera there. One person. Thank you very much. But so there's not many, though.
No, that's the funny thing about the book world. We all think, because our friends have read these books, that everybody has read them. When it turns out only a tiny percentage of the population may have read them.
New generation of readers.
What if on a new hardcover printing, I think their last print run was like 10 or 12, maybe it was 12 million copies. Well, what are there, 300 million people in the United States alone? So there's plenty more people out there who haven't read the book. Plus all the young kids moving along, anybody ages 8 through 12 may want to pick the book up.
Big, heavy books. There's some utility to having them on a tablet. I have a question for you, Jeffrey. You said no publisher is going to sign you if you withhold your digital rights right now. So immediately when this news came out this morning, immediately the pundits were saying, oh, this is the end of the traditional publishing model, etc. We're still where we've been for a while, right? Which is, if you want to reap the benefits of having a big publisher in advance and all of that stuff, there's a trade-off. You can't retain the digital rights yourself. If you want to go off and do it on your own, that only works if no one wants you in the first place, or if you sort of built yourself up to the point where you don't need them anymore.
That's
still
pretty
where
much
we are for most of the media. Okay.
Yes, because very few writers back in, as you point out, back in, what was it, 1996 would have retained their digital rights. When did the Kindle, for most people, I think, the digital book world really launched when Kindle started in November of 2007.
And it was a very slow start, let's be honest. I
think the Kindle sold out in the first day, actually.
There was an earlier year in the 2000s.
Yes,
Stephen King made a big splash, but it went nowhere.
Media, they went nowhere.
Right.
Interesting. So what am I going to do with my full set of hardcovers Harry Potter books now?
The same thing people have always done. Enjoy them.
Camera wants the copy.
Oh, person off camera wants the copy. Okay, so I'll lend them to her, and then she'll be able to have read them. Wow, interesting stuff. So she's going to get even richer.
She will, and let's not forget, she actually wrote these books, so she's entitled to it.
Yeah.